Good day, everyone. Today is Sunday, November 9, 2025. Talk on Platform Sutra in the chapter Samadhi and Wisdom. So last time we ended here. Anyone who is enlightened or cultivating Samadhi and wisdom must have non-contention as a fundamental condition. If one has already entered the path of practice, but keeps competing, struggling, or rushing to cultivate this and that, such a mindset is deluded. Why? Because this person's mind is full of distinctions between self and others, competitiveness and pride. Competitiveness and pride. These increase the attachment to both the notion of self and no self. Practicing with such a mindset, one still cannot transcend the four marks of self, person, sentient beings, and lifespan. So that's how we ended on November 2nd, 2025. So let's go on to explain more. First of all, it's both good. It refers to the body and mind are all good. Then the other one is contention. It means heated argument, disagreement. So the word contention means dispute or struggle. Sometimes contention is expressed through words, sometimes through the mind. Verbal contention is arguing with the use of your mouth. Mental contention is when one's thoughts and intention are fighting internally. From Chan Buddhism often says, only value right view, not external forms of practice. From the perspective of the Platform Sutra, what is the right view? Well, if samadhi and wisdom are divided, that is not right view. This has already been explained earlier. Samadhi and wisdom are not two different things. If one regards them as separate, then that samadhi is not right samadhi, and that wisdom is not right wisdom. The word right means correct and proper. When samadhi and wisdom are separated, they lose correctness. Only right samadhi and right wisdom correspond to right view. Then, what is the right view? It is to understand cause and effect, and to recognize causal conditions. This is what is meant by right view. To be confused about cause and effect, or ignorant of condition, or to hold views that contradict the law of cause and effect. These are not right view. So talk about playing lottery. If people believe that they can get rich through lottery or gambling, and everyone goes to buy tickets thinking they will all become wealthy, then who would work or produce anything? Where would the money come from? Obviously, this is impossible. If by winning you could suddenly get piles of cash, what kind of money would that be? It would be what you call it, Joss paper or spirit paper or the underground money. Sometimes they use this term ghost money. Even ghost money needs to be printed, and paper mansions need to be built out of paper by someone. All of this violates the principles of cause and effect. Therefore, it is not right view and not wisdom. Even the cleverest person who plays lottery or seeks easy wealth is not acting with true wisdom. During the Lunar New Year, people often greet each other saying, "Congratulations on getting rich. Give me a red envelope." Say, 恭喜发财，红包拿来. So, but is this consistent with cause and effect? When you say, "Give me a red envelope," the red envelope in Chinese referring to inside, you put some money in there. So when you say, "Give me a red envelope," are you getting wealth or losing wealth? Well, you are losing it first. Many people exploit others' ignorance to deceive them, and many are fooled in this way. Now, our teacher, Shifu, had met such people in both America and Taiwan. They all want to cheat him, but he had been poor for so long that he never thought of seeking windfall or unearned wealth. When people give him nice gifts, houses, or money, he always says first, "I don't want it." If they insist, he asks, "Why give it to me and not to others?" Then he asks, "Does this money come with conditions?" Because there's no such thing as a free lunch in the world. Even during exams, if someone says, "I will take your test for you," can that be trusted? Of course not. Any matter that violates cause and effect, no matter how good it seems, don't fall for it. Otherwise, you will suffer a double loss. The saying of not only fail to get the bride, but also lost the troops, or lose both your wife and your soldiers. It's a total loss. So once someone donated $1 million. Now this $1 million is new Taiwanese dollars, to our organization. on the condition that our teacher visits them. And Sifu, our teacher, told them that he would visit not because of the money, but because they were ill. A monk's compassion toward the sick is natural. Visiting them is an act of kindness, not a transaction for money. And Sifu, which is our teacher, also said, our Dharma Mountain project needs a lot of funds, over $1 billion. If I must visit everyone who donates $1 million, I will never rest. I will get phone calls day and night. Master, someone who donated me $1 million wants to see you. Then I'll be finished before the monastery is even built. Therefore, our teacher does not visit people for money. If someone donates, it is their merit. But do not attach conditions requiring him to go see them. That Sifu will not do. Otherwise, Dharma Mountain would collapse before it even rises. So our teacher often looks at cause and effect in a reverse way. Many people say to him, you have such great blessings. You have so many disciples, and you often receive red envelopes. But he thinks the other way around. He says, I have no blessings. I am pitiable. My karmic debts are heavy. I owe others too much, so I must work like an ox or a horse to repay them. When people bring him money, it is not for him. It is because he is their servant, managing things on their behalf. Our teacher does not receive any reward from it. He takes their money and uses it to do good deeds for them. Once they earn money, they expect him to do good work for them. In other words, they hire him to help them generate merit. He is like an employee at a bank. He does the work, but he earns no money. None of that money belongs to him. He is merely providing a service for others. So he is blessed. And is this the result of karmic retribution? Think about it. This reasoning is not easy to understand, but we should often reflect on this way. When you receive other support or protection, do not think, I must be blessed. Instead, think the opposite. The more you receive from others, the heavier your karmic obligation becomes. And the more effort you must make to repay it. This is the relative cost of effort. You must fulfill the course you have received. Otherwise, you will misunderstand cause and effect. The more support you receive, the greater your responsibility. When people donate money, they do so to perform wholesome deeds. And our teacher often says, for every dollar people donate, I must use it as if it were 10. Otherwise, it would go against cause and effect. If you think this is my blessing, it comes from the affinity I built in past lives. So now everyone gives me money, it's mine, and I can spend it however I wish. That is the wrong understanding of cause and effect. You must not think that way. So, right view means joining cause to result. We should not say that when things go well, it's just our good karma or blessing. To think that way is dangerous. It's an incorrect view of cause and effect. Likewise, when we are poor or struggling, we should recognize that this too is a result, not a cause. Whatever we receive is the fruit, and since it is fruit, we should calmly and willingly accept it. Take it as sweet as honey, even when it is bitter. To accept adversity with equanimity does not mean passively resigning. Ah, it's my bad luck. Not at all. To improve things, we must add new courses. When we are receiving the result, we should add more course. For example, if someone gives us iron and we put in effort, the iron can be hammered and refined into steel. And if we work even harder into stainless steel, thus, result must be combined with cause. Only then can we truly have a view grounded in cause and effect. This is right view, right understanding. Our teacher once said during Lunar New Year's Eve, that night a lay Buddhist attended the ceremony. Afterward, he came to him with a red envelope, hesitating to give it. He said, Master, you just said that accepting money increases your karmic burden. Should I give this to you or not? If I give it, I will add to your burden. If I don't, I've already prepared it. You know what our teacher said? Our teacher told him, deposits should be made in a reliable bank, right? So the man said, I understand now. I will give it to you. So talking about samadhi and wisdom, the samadhi that corresponds with right view is right samadhi. And the wisdom that corresponds with right view is right wisdom. If one's understanding contradicts the principles of cause and effect, and one still claims to have wisdom, that must be deviant wisdom, not right wisdom. Deviant samadhi, not right samadhi. In the Platform Sutra, samadhi and wisdom are one and the same. Whoever has wisdom must also have samadhi. Whoever has samadhi must also have wisdom. They are not two separate entities. They are two aspects of the same essence, coexisting simultaneously. Even in daily life, we can observe this. A person who remains calm and steady is said to have deep samadhi power. A calm mind indicates samadhi. Such a person handles affairs and relationships with objectivity. This is wisdom. In everyday life, when we see someone who is cool-headed, we can say that person has deeper concentration. Calm people can manage tasks and human relations more objectively. That is wisdom. Therefore, in daily life, we should often reflect, do I have some level of composure? Do I have some degree of wisdom? By cultivating this self-reflection, our vexation will diminish. People around us, living and working with us, will become more peaceful and wise. Otherwise, the slightest external disturbance will agitate our mind. We will have neither wisdom nor samadhi. So today, after hearing about samadhi and wisdom, when you go home, don't scold people. When you see your child, don't spank them. When they make noise, talk to them gently. Don't let irritation arise whenever you see something unpleasant. When you feel upset, say to yourself, I will not be swayed. I must maintain samadhi. I must keep a calm, objective mind. I want to cultivate wisdom. Even if you haven't realized your Buddha nature or attained enlightenment yet, you can imitate and practice in this way. Otherwise, you come here to study the Platform Sutra. Here, the teaching, the samadhi, and wisdom are one, and still don't understand what that means. What is samadhi? It means not being influenced. What is wisdom? It means being objective. Then someone says to you, you are talking nonsense. You don't understand anything. If you react to it, then instantly your samadhi is gone, your wisdom is gone. Then a mind and speech not in accord, no right wisdom. This referring to people who can enter deep samadhi, sit for several hours, or even a whole day or two, and can still their mind, but cannot distinguish good from evil, cause from effect. Lacking understanding of cause and effect means lacking moral discernment. This is not true non-discrimination. It is ignorance of what is wholesome and unwholesome. Even confusing the two, that is not goodness. If one has meditative ability, but no understanding or knowledge of cause and effect, such samadhi is not genuine. There are also those who can lecture on sutras, read scriptures, or write books, writing and speaking the Dharma just like our teacher, but their mind harbors selfish intention. They preach the Dharma for personal gain. As people say, one thing on the lips, another in the mind, and another in the actions behind the back. Are there such people? Yes, there are. Both you and I can find them everywhere. When mind and speech do not correspond, that person has no right wisdom. From their words or writings, they may sound like wise people. Their language may be full of wisdom, but their mind and behavior are ambiguous or ugly. Such people do not truly possess right wisdom. Their practice does not correspond with the unity of samadhi and wisdom taught in the Platform Sutra. So when mind and speech are both wholesome, inner and outer in harmony, samadhi and wisdom are equal. This explains the previous point that samadhi and wisdom being unequal means that what one thinks in the mind, what one says with the mouth, and what one does with the body are not in accord. They are inconsistent. When the inner and outer are one, without discrepancy, when what the mind thinks is what the mouth says, and what the mouth says is what the body does, then samadhi and wisdom are equal. Here, the equality of samadhi and wisdom referring to behavior that corresponds with right samadhi and right wisdom. Such behavior includes mental activity, speech, and bodily conduct that are consistent with samadhi and wisdom. People of this kind are rare, yet anyone who truly practices the Buddha's teaching, especially those who have attained wisdom or enlightenment, who have seen their Buddha nature, must be like this. Otherwise, if one claims enlightenment while lacking this consistency, such enlightenment is like watered-down wine, diluted and not genuine. Then, the saying of self-enlightenment and practice are not in contention. If one contends about before or after, one is the same as a deluded person. So, non-contention is the foundation of practice. These 4 lines mean that whether one is enlightened, has samadhi and wisdom, or is cultivating them, even if not yet enlightened, but striving in that direction, such a person must rely on non-contention as a basic condition for self-cultivation and realization. The word contention can occur in 2 ways, through speech or through the mind. Verbal contention means arguing with the mouth. Mental contention means the thoughts and mind are disputing internally. What are people contending about? They argue over before and after, high and low, noble and base. Whenever one says, I am inferior, you are superior, or I am superior, you are inferior, that is contention. If someone stands in front of you, you think he's blocking my light, taking the spotlight. If someone stands behind you, you think he's taking advantage of me. I'm opening the path for him. Whichever position you take, you can always find a reason to contend, can't you? If you want to argue that no matter where you stand, front or back, there's always something to fight about. Isn't that so? Now, an example about teacher. On the 4th day of the Lunar New Year, he, our teacher, went to Taipei to participate in the senior monks group ceremony. Strictly speaking, a teacher is also a senior monk. He was. And at that time, he was 63 years old and had been ordained for over 30 years. But he still walked behind others, sat below, stood in the back. When others pushed him forward, he said, I dare not stand ahead. Standing in front is dangerous. Then someone said to him, you are so sly. But according to Buddhist etiquette, those who are last should go first. In ancient Chinese, the deepest hall of a house, the backmost part was called Tang Ao, meaning the most honorable space. Well, no matter what. If he stands in the front, people will scold him. Look at Sung Yan showing off again. If he moves to the back, they will still notice, he's trying to act humble. Either way, he can't win. Having a physical body is troublesome. That's why Lao Tzu said, my great trouble is that I have a body. Wherever you stand, people will talk. But what's important is that your mind remains without contention. As we said earlier, whether you stand in front or in back, people will have opinions. That's inevitable. So just choose the position that feels most proper and at ease to you. Why insist on standing ahead or behind? There's no need. Follow the rules. If that's your place, stand there. If others don't follow the rules, then they let you stand wherever. Just accept it. That is non-contention. As for why he stood at the back during the ceremony, there is a reason. Everyone wants to stand in front, and they are all large in build, wearing yellow robes. Among the elders, they joke that in a beauty contest, I'll be first place, the slimmest. But for someone like our teacher, standing in the front doesn't look so good. And since everyone wants to move forward, isn't it better for him to step back? Why must he squeeze to the front? Every year during these ceremonies, he has the same experience. Standing in the back feels very safe. After all, he is well known. Wherever he stands, everyone sees him anyway. If one argues with the mouth and contends in the mind, one is a deluded person. Some people say it with discouragement. I'm still deluded. I haven't attained enlightenment. You tell me not to contend, but I can't do it. I can keep it outwardly, but my mind is still arguing. I feel suffocated inside. If I speak out, at least I feel some relief, but then I'm already contending. Why do it so hard? Since you are studying the Platform Sutra, you should tell yourself, I'm now learning the Buddha's teaching. When thoughts of contention arise, I will immediately recognize I am a deluded person because I am contending. Knowing this, I feel a sense of shame, and I will find a way not to contend. When the mind of shame and remorse arises, the thought of contention naturally extinguishes itself. The mind of shame and remorse is like nectar water, cool and refreshing. Once this mind arises, our arrogance, resentment, and afflictive thoughts will naturally diminish. Therefore, the water of shame can extinguish the fire of affliction. We use the water of shame to put out the fire of contention. If thoughts of contention arise, don't say, well, I am still a deluded person. I can't help but be afflicted. I can't help but argue. Such thinking makes no sense. You already know it is vexation, yet you still insist on afflicting yourself. Isn't that foolish on top of foolishness? When thoughts of contention arise, you should immediately give rise to a sense of shame and remorse, thinking, I now recognize what a deluded person is. I should feel ashamed. So we are all still deluded beings. But if we don't want to handle our problems in this way, then listening to the Platform Sutra has nothing to do with us. If listening to the Platform Sutra only concerns the enlightened, while we deluded ones claimed we can do it, then why even listen? Today is a good day. You could be out sightseeing, dining, or climbing mountains. Why come to listen to Dharma? Because after listening, it must be of use. Shall we try it? Yes. Okay, I'll end the talk today. Yeah.
Vow to the Venerable.